everybody, Justin Worden at SMTAI International in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're watching What's New in Electronics. I'm here with Daniel Sipple at Acies
Medical.
Acies Medical. Sorry, man, I'll get it. I'm talking to a lot of people today, but hey, I really appreciate you popping in because, you know, so much of this show we just focus on the electronics side, but we actually pair this show up with the medical device industry. And that's really where your area of expertise comes in. So why don't you just do a quick introduction about your company and then we'll dig into exactly what you guys are doing.
Sure. Well, Justin, I'm an interventional pain physician. I've done over 20,000 procedures, and the trouble with needles is they're 175 years old. And when you put a needle in the body, you don't know if you're an artery or blood or none of the above. And when you inject, you can cause something called an embolism, which Medicare defines as a never event. It should never happen, but it does. So Acies is here is to make needles safer.
Needles, all right, now you're scaring me. All right, I didn't know we were going down the needle chain with this conversation, but no, all joking aside, I mean, it is a very serious issue. I mean, I imagine with, let's just say it, COVID, this has become a very hot topic.
Justin, unfortunately, people are rightfully scared to have their vaccines because if that vaccine, when it is injected, goes into the artery or goes into the blood, there's a very strong immune response, and that's what drives myocarditis. So we believe at Acies that this is actually preventable and can reduce that fear and anxiety that many people feel about getting the vaccine.
Well, Daniel, you're hitting a lot of hot buttons right now. Whether you're watching the news, you're on social media or whatnot, you're talking about a lot of things that may turn people against each other, we'll put it that way. But when you talk about needles going into the body, so much of that is dictated by the person putting the needle in your body. But you're coming from a different approach. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. We just want to make it. We want to make it idiot-proof. You know, before, whether you see a pharmacist, a tech, a nurse, or any licensed person there to try to help someone, we just want to make needles, which are 175 years old, a lot safer. So when the tech puts or the pharmacist, or the nurse, or the physician puts the needle in, before you get your vaccine, before you get your Botox, before you get your chemotherapy, we just want to make sure it's absolutely positively where it's intended to be.
So we're not talking about replacing needles, we're just talking about improving the process.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, that's a very interesting conversation. I think it's a long conversation that you and I probably should maybe jump on a podcast or something and talk more about. But Daniel, are you exhibiting or are you walking the floor?
I'm walking the floor today. Many colleagues are here presenting, so I'm fortunate to network with them.
Awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate you coming on. I look forward to having this conversation some more, but thank you, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Justin.